the dark, deserted streets, a young boy strives to take advantage of this serenity and whatever light source is available to him. It is a time when Kot Ishaq had no electricity and no education infrastructure whatsoever. A time when his children, like others in many villages across the subcontinent, were deprived of education. It is only these few hours of the night can this child spare time for studies. When it is quiet, the hustle of the village life has come to a still. When there is just enough time and light from the lantern, for electricity was a rare phenomenon. And so was the concept of education in an agro-based village. Kot Ishaq, present day. Much has changed since 1928. The overall infrastructure of the village has to an extent improved, with roads, better farming methods, factories, even media such as cable has reached the village. But what is most significant is that amongst the sounds of usual village life, the surroundings are now also filled with the symphony of laughing children and school bells. No longer is it difficult for a child to acquire education, for in the midst stands the MH Sufi Foundation School. The MH Sufi Foundation School is named after MH Sufi, the young boy who dwelled in the streets of Kot Ishaq some 80 years ago. MH Sufi was no different than his fellow villagers. However, he had a vision and an undying spirit to progress and take his people with him. Facing acute circumstances, he managed to educate himself much on personal endeavor and eventually became a civil servant, a high-ranking official in the Indian civil service. It was his dream to improve the fate of his people, his fellow men. A dream brought into actualization by his son Parvez Sufi by establishing MH Sufi Foundation in 1994, a non-profit organization focused on improving the education standards of the region and facilitating such empowerment to locals who could not afford to do so otherwise.
The MH Sufi Foundation is a non-profit organization which was established in 1994. Its objective is to promote and provide quality education in the rural areas of Pakistan. The foundation's first project was to establish a school at village Kot Ishaq in Hafzabad district in the year 1995. And the school started with about 100 children and 4 classes at the primary level. Since then, over a period of almost now 12 years, the school has progressed from primary level to elementary level, which is classes 6 to 8, to secondary level and higher secondary level. And currently it has an enrollment of around 1300 students. 30% are girls.
I've been part of this school for almost 11 years now. I remember I was enrolled in grade 4 of the government primary school when the MH Sufi Foundation started. Even before the school had started, there was a lot of hype created as to the standard of education and educational facilities. Considering the poor standard of the government school, I applied to MH Sufi and got admission in grade 2 rather than my current grade. I wasn't worried though. I knew the quality of education here would be worth it.
The school initially started as a primary school. The MH Sufi Foundation has always adopted a bottom-up approach, where it has been governed by the ideology that as the students got promoted, so should the infrastructure of the school, hence ensuring maximum utilization of resources. Spreading over an area of almost 13 acres, the main site of the foundation's campus is located at a distance of 20 kilometers from district center at Vanike Jalalpur Bhatia Road. The land for the purpose was donated by the Sufi family and initial construction work was started in 1994. The campus has been designed to get fully in tune with the requirements of a well-facilitated institution. This double-storied building of the Sufi Foundation is artistically designed and is in accordance with the needs of a modern-day educational institution. Affiliated with the Gujranwala Government Board, all students appear in the board examinations like majority established schools in cities of Pakistan. Amongst many things that stand out in the institution are its well-trained teachers who are all of graduate and postgraduate levels.
The Ali Institute has been working in teacher training for quite a long time, a decade and a half. And I'm very proud to say that we've had a long-standing connection with the Sufi Foundation for some 11 or 12 years. And what that has meant is that we've been able to introduce modern methods for teaching, activity-based teaching in schools in areas like Hafizabad, activity-based learning, problem-centred learning, student-centred learning, child-centred learning. These are very significant practices which impact fundamentally not only on the children but impact on the school and the way the school interacts with the community. So it is very much an holistic approach to education. Every year we get people sponsored by the Sufi Foundation coming to the Institute to learn to be teachers. These trainee teachers not only learn about activity-based learning, but they learn about themselves at the same time. They learn not only what it means to be a teacher, but also what it means to be a professional. And one thing we pride ourselves on at the Institute is that we try to produce people who take teaching seriously, and our teachers, sponsored by the Sufi Foundation, are amongst the best students for that attribute.
The results have been staggering over the years for MH Sufi Foundation, bearing witness to the interest and dedication of the students of this region and the effort put in by the teachers. Majority of the students at all levels have been performing exceptionally well, and on average about 85% of the students from grade 9th to 12th achieved first division. Considering the requirement, the MH Sufi Foundation has acquired land in 5 villages and has already opened 3 campuses at Kalike Mandi, Ramke Chatha and Kasise, with funds generated through friends and family. These 3 new branches have started off with primary level of education and are going to emulate the same growth model as time passes. The total area acquired for the purpose at these sites is 4 acres at Kalike Mandi, 3 acres at Kasise, 2 acres at Ramke Chatha, 5 acres at Surupwala and 2 acres at Jani Jana. Together, the 6 schools would cater to hundreds of villages simultaneously. Still, the management is on its mission to open its new campuses in other areas and plans of more schools are in the pipeline. It has now been almost 2 years the branches of Kasise, Kalike and Ramke have been built. All cater to primary level students. The response from the locals has been so great that it has been extremely difficult for the school to accommodate the overwhelming applicants.
The children who are coming over here to have admission in the school are from backward areas, yet they are showing a lot of interest just because of the atmosphere, just because of the behavior of the Sufi Foundation staff, and just of the atmosphere of learning which we are providing to the students. As you can see at my back that we are not having rooms for all the classes, and we have to accommodate one class in the corridor also. That shows the pressure of the people that they want admission here in the school, and yet we are trying to cope up with all the problems, and we are trying to do our best.
Considering such a response from the locals, the foundation intends to extend its schools to cater to the growing needs of the locals. It is quite heartening to know the level of interest that the people from rural backgrounds have shown in their children and acquiring education.
Studying at MH Sufi Foundation has been one of the things that I cherish most. I have been the part of this institution since 1995. The amount of confidence we have developed here from our experience, from being educated, help us to tackle life better. Like me, every student loves to study, even if it means coming from far areas.
The facilities that we enjoy in our school are comparable to many privately aided schools of the urban cities. We have science and computer labs, access to decent library and book resource. The audio and video room is another facility that we benefit a lot from. We have plenty extracurricular activities, such as debates, competitions, and different societies. Regular field trips are arranged for us to ensure that we get maximum exposure to the world outside our books and campus. Sports are yet another area where a lot of emphasis is laid here in MH Sufi Foundation and are quite celebrated. Our soccer team is one of the best in division. We have actually won the division level cup.
The foundation has ensured not only to provide quality education, but also to facilitate the whole process as much as it can. The foundation provides its own transportation to all its teachers and students, for private transport is non-existent and public transport system lags way far behind. In Kot Ishaq alone, students come from a radius of 40 kilometers and 100 villages. Currently, a total number of 13 school buses are catering to the needs of the students and teachers.
The financial model for the foundation is that we charge tuition fees such that these fees are affordable by the local community, but at the same time we are able to meet our operating expenses on an annual basis. This ensures financial sustainability for our schools and operations, which is very necessary. For example, right now we have an average fee, tuition fee of around 700 rupees per month, and for the same level of education in the cities, the cost would be over 3,000 rupees per month. Insofar as the capital expenditure for the schools is concerned, which is purchase of land, construction of buildings, furniture, etc., we seek donations, and it is through these donations that we are able to meet this capital expenditure.
The foundation has catered to all segments of the rural setting by providing scholarships to students. Those who cannot even afford the nominal school fees are facilitated by the foundation. In 2005 and 6 alone, the scholarship levels reached 9 lakh rupees, where a total of 245 students received aid. Considering the efforts of the foundation, the Pakistan Center of Philanthropy, a government-owned regulatory body and support organization, has awarded certification to MH Sufi Foundation for its internal governance, financial management, and program delivery. The school has been accredited by various prominent members of the local and international community who have had the opportunity to visit the schools. Their testimonials bear witness to the establishment and the efforts involved by the foundation. MH Sufi has also been host to many national outreach program seminars held by alums at Kot Ishaq campus. These seminars are held to invite students from its campuses to become part of the most prestigious management and sciences university in Pakistan. The efforts of MH Sufi Foundation are not restricted to education alone. Considering the need to cater to another dominant segment of the society that due to some reason cannot study, the foundation has also opened a technical training center. The center provides basic training and diplomas to trainees in developing various skills such as stitching, electronics, and mechanics. Trainees attend regular skill developing classes and as a result are able to contribute to the society better by earning a livelihood and supporting their families. Many of such trainees are absorbed by the center itself through providing employment alongside skills. Here in the stitching section, many female trainees work and make the complete uniforms for the foundation's school children. Hence, in this way, the foundation addresses the needs for a major portion of the society. The foundation aims to expand the network and scope of technical training centers throughout Hyderabad. The directors of the foundation are all eminent people of their own fields. bringing in their vast experience and foresight to take the foundation miles. It is due to their due diligence and acumen that the foundation has grown and reached the level that it is at today.
Hafizabad, as you know, is a rural district of Pakistan, which is considered a backward area. And here the rural population, unfortunately, is totally deprived of quality education. They are receiving some education through the government system, but it is grossly inadequate for meeting the demands of a progressive society. And it is to address this deficiency that the foundation proposes to intervene by providing high quality education at the mass level.
Gains to education sort of impart to the whole society economically and also with the view of social externalities. Economically, of course, you know that human capital has been by far the most prime mover determinant of economic growth in the country, right? So it's not only just physical capital accumulation and labor force accumulation, it's also how well and how productive is your economic workforce to contribute to GDP growth or any other instance.
My own work in Punjab and NWFP in education is showing a few very important factors. One, the returns to education, both male and female, are very high, but they are not high for primary education. So what we are saying is that now the real returns to education are in taking children up to grade 12 at least, or grade 10 at least. Only by doing metric or FSC can they become more productive citizens. It's not enough to do primary or middle education anymore. Secondly, we are finding that actually returns to education can increase with education. So if you have done the primary or middle, but you go on to secondary, the rate of return can be much higher than if you only finished primary education. We have documented that there are educated men and women make decisions that are more responsive to their economic and other needs in terms of having smaller families, allowing higher immunization rates, for example, for their children, providing better housing to their children, their education, providing better health facilities, being more concerned about what kind of social fabric develops in the society, getting more involved in the overall socio-economic structure of the society as well. So if all of those benefits are to be taken out of education, then clearly a basic level of provision of at least a basic quality has to be given to everyone as a matter of right, and also for its functional importance.
The significance of education in these areas need not be emphasized any further, for not only does it yield self-progress, but the whole society is affected as a byproduct.
ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਜੀ ਰਹੇ ਅਨਪੜ੍ਹ ਇਸ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਕਤਾਂ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕੋਈ ਤਲੀਮੀ ਅਦਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਨਜ਼ਦੀਕ ਵੀ, ਬਲਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਗਾਉਂ ਦੇ ਨਜ਼ਦੀਕ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਗਾਉਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੀ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਕਮੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਤਲੀਮੀ ਅਦਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਕਾਫੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ਕਿਸਮਤ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਤਾਲੀਮ ਹਾਸਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਮਤਲਬ ਗਾਉਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣ ਬੜਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਤਨਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਖਰਚਾ ਜਾਂ ਅਖਰਾਜਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ਕਿਸਮਤ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਉਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੀ ਤਾਲੀਮ ਅੱਛੀ ਹਾਸਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਡੇ।
I am now graduated from the foundation. I am enrolled in the College of Art and Design, Punjab University, and I am majoring in graphic design. Many of my batchmates have gotten admission in reputable universities all over Pakistan and abroad. We are grateful that we have been given the opportunity, and most importantly, the standard of education that we now too can stand amongst our counterparts in urban areas. In fact, even those internationally.
The foundation's vision is to set up 25 schools in district Hafizabad, Each school starting from primary level and going up to class 12, which is the intermediate level. On this basis, these 25 schools would, at optimum level, have a student population of around 30,000 students, which would represent approximately 10% of the school-going population of Hafizabad. In this manner, we hope to achieve a critical mass of educated people in Hafizabad district, which would contribute towards a complete social transformation in Hafizabad. And this would be a good model for other districts to follow and emulate.
I think the Sufi Foundation is doing a remarkable job. Teaching is perhaps one of the most difficult professions for anyone to enter. And for the Sufi Foundation to take such an interest is something which deserves a gold medal, I think. And I think is something to be celebrated.
The Foundation's effort to impart quality education in the rural areas have been those beyond words. It is every citizen's right to be given access to education, to be given equal opportunities in life, to progress and prosper, for an educated society is one that contributes to its full potential in the development of a nation. We, as individuals, as responsible members of the privileged class, are bestowed with this duty to help our children, our fellow men, and play our role in being part of this prosperous future. The transformation has begun, where the social fabric will now face a new era, an era of progression, growth, and prosperity. Help us make this dream a reality.